What's up, guys? Today I'm starting off at Space Monkey Coffee. Usually I'll come by, get a coffee if I'm feeling sluggish, if I'm feeling like it's probably not going to be an enjoyable ride for the first mile or two. Usually a coffee will help me out. I typically do a French press at home. There's a lot of good beans in coffee shops around the neighborhood, so we're always set with beans. But I think today I was feeling something specific, maybe something with like extra shot. Maybe I was feeling extra sluggish. Um, but yeah, today I'm gonna go from Foster Powell to the Hawthorne neighborhood, up Division, back through up to Clinton. I think you'll see some familiar areas like Hawthorne Boulevard, but um, I think Foster is gonna be more familiar since I always go down that road. It's just the easiest way to go. You can get on a fast-paced ride. The one thing that I do notice is that it's always windy, which can be pretty hard, but as for running, just like running, it's probably better at the beginning than towards the end. So, yeah, I guess it's an easy way to warm up, but exerting extra effort. This morning was a pretty good morning, pretty sunny, happy with the weather, and not too many people out and about. I mean, cars. It always worries me when there's too many cars. Usually, if I go in the evening time and I try to get a good ride in, usually I'm up against some pretty good traffic. But today looks pretty good. So, yeah, here we go. For me, I've noticed that when I started bike riding, there was a increase in positive mental health effects. Um, I felt good. I felt relaxed the rest of the day of every time that I ride a bike. Here we're entering on the Hawthorne right side. We got the Powell satellite store in Hawthorne. We got the Baghdad Theater on the left. Pretty cool theater, really nice. Nice chandeliers inside. It's one screen though, so whatever movie they're showing, if you're with it, you can get in it. And they serve food. They serve all the concession stand goods. It's super fun. Left side is record shops, brunch spots, clothing stores, thrift stores. I mean, Hawthorne Boulevard's pretty much got it all. And if you come here to visit, I mean, you could really spend a full day here. And I mean, nothing's really better than being able to stay in one spot and just be entertained in one area. But back to mental health. One of the things that I do is listen to music, and when I moved to Portland, music was a big part of that like transition. I mean, that I have like some core memories from just like 10 months ago, 11 months ago, where I was listening to Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, like front to back almost every day. And I mean, most of my running miles were logged to that album. And right now, it's actually Swimming by Mac Miller, which has been an interesting album for me. Being in recovery myself, I can hear a lot of his words and understand a little bit about what he's talking about. So for me, it's a little bit of self care there. I've been into Mac Miller more his earlier stuff when I was in high school, graduating high school, and I hadn't really listened to him since. Sad to say, because his music is so good, but I think music is there. I think to create a stamp location point of a point of your life that is gonna mean something in the future, and usually the way back home to that area or the way back to that part of your life is a lot of times music. And when I got here, I started listening to emo music again. I was really into emo music when I was in high school. I started listening to different rap when I was here. I ended up getting into hardcore as well. There's a lot of stuff that I never really listened to. I listen to now. Being raised in a rock and roll family, listening to a lot of hair metal bands, a lot of punk rock, a lot of alternative music, for sure, alternative music. I kind of opened that door again once I got here, and I don't know what it was, but I'm glad that it happened because if you look into the Erickson stages of development, what he says is that there are certain things that are supposed to happen in certain areas of a child's life, right? And going into adolescence, and those things can be stunted, right? So if there's like autonomy from age 2 to 4, or if there's another area of life that we're trying to develop when we were kids, something happens, a traumatic event or something, that we shouldn't have had happen to us, or something that really left a mark on our brain. A lot of times you know, we'll see those areas not really there. So for me, I think music was one of those things that I was able to do. Jump back, jump in the music, and really accept it and really jam out to it. Because before I wouldn't really listen to it. I kind of was ashamed of the music I was listening to. I think, once I started listening to it and accepting it, it was pretty cool, and it was pretty interesting. The things that I saw, a lot of memories, a lot of memory flooding for me came back. Being able to process those things, being able to write those things down, listening to those albums and those artists, and kind of redefining what it was that I was going through back then to what I am and what I'm feeling now. A lot of things that I did too in my journey for my mental health was write myself like letters, writing myself notes, writing that kid that is scared. Say I'm going through a little bit of an ego situation, I'm going through a little bit of a fear, anxiety situation. I think about the situation, think about when in my childhood I kind of went through the same thing, or that somebody kind of, put me through. And being 30 years old now, being whenever I was 25, when I was 27, a lot of times it was writing a letter to that kid and knowing that everything's okay now. I was able to kind of comfort myself and be able to give myself that, that assurance that everything's going to be okay. Because I mean, when we're kids, right, what do we think, when something goes wrong, or something, sometimes it's like the end of the world. Having a 4-year-old toddler, that's most of his reactions when he doesn't get his way. And a lot of times, as a dad and as a person who was also pretty hurt as a kid, being able to say with assurance, with confidence, that like it's gonna be fine. It's gonna hurt right now for a little bit. Play it out, let it do what it's gonna do, and then let's use this to grow from it. And that's kind of what I try to get across to my toddler as much as possible. It's not easy. I'm not perfect. None of us are, but I try my best. I try my best, and I try to do that with myself as well. Kind of try to teach myself, like, you know, to be, to be, okay with the stuff that I did as a kid. Some of the things that I was ashamed of, like music, certain songs that I really liked. I like that music. So what's the point of, trying to hide it and trying to act like I didn't like that stuff? So Mac Miller's one of them. I started listening to Under Oath again. I'm gonna go see them in October. They're playing at Revolution Hall in Southeast Portland. I'm gonna go see play We're Only Chasing Safety from the whole album from front to back. And I'm so stoked about that because when I was a kid, I never really got the opportunity to go see them. I mean, they were at Advance Warped Tour. I wasn't ready for that pit though. But now I'm 30 years old. I got some weight on me. I mean, look out, Portland. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But seriously, yeah, just accept the music, accept the stuff that you used to like. Understand that. I mean, that's us. That's what makes us up. That's what we're made of. And I mean, that stuff is part of our identity, part of who we are, part of our life, whether we like it or not. It's in our brain, some of those things. So, yeah, I just encourage anybody who's listening, anybody who's watching, to go and listen to that track. Blast it in the car, go crazy in the car. Sing it all out in the shower, whatever you got to do. Mental health is important, and there's not enough time to be ashamed of who we used to be or who we might be, whether it's our flaws or our fears, whatever it may be. Just accept it. Accept it. Accept that little kid in you with open arms. sometimes in Portland, you don't even really need to go to the shops. You don't really need to go to the attractions. Sometimes you could just walk through the neighborhoods and see so many houses. I mean, some of these houses are hundreds of years old, and a lot of them are being kept up by the owners, and they use their own flair of how they want to keep them painted. So the color schemes are really cool and something to see. So if you ever come to Portland, check out the houses, check out the neighborhoods, maybe the less touristy areas. I think that's where you'll get like a real slice, a real look at what daily life in Portland feels like. I think when I travel, that's what I miss a lot. I miss a lot of like being able to see what the daily life looks like of living here, being able to feel what every person, might be going through and they as they live here. And because a lot of times going to another place to visit, it's all sunshine and rainbows, right? It's like, oh, it's the perfect place. Oh my God, everybody's enjoying it. Oh my God, if I lived here, it'd be perfect. I wouldn't have any problems. And maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me thinking about trying to run away from my problems or something. But um, one of the things that I do love about living here is I'm able to see the real side of Portland, and the good, the bad, the ugly. What I was thinking about when I was on this ride, actually, Jay Adams from Zephyr Team Rider, skateboard legend, when he was asked to describe Venice Beach, he said it's dirty, it's filthy, it's paradise. And living here, you know, watching the people go through their daily lives, understanding the real struggles of living here, that's kind of how I feel. Even though I don't feel like it's filthy, it's dirty, I do feel like it is paradise. Once you see all the like just life stuff, just life on life terms, you get to see like the real beauty. I mean, right now I'm again biking through a little area, a little pocket that you just don't see in any other place. A little pocket where there's only bikes and only walkers can walk through, closed off to cars, and there's a bunch of restaurants. There's that comic book shop again, cafe. There's a thrift shop for kids. Really cool stuff. But yeah, living here, I get to see what people are really like. Like, is it gonna be like a Portlandia sketch 24/7? Is it gonna be more of what I'm used to in California? And I mean, it's none of those things, right? It's its own vibe. And um, as soon as I integrated into that, my time became much more enjoyable here. Not looking at the differences and looking for similarities, stuff like that. I mean, I was on edge when I first moved here, just hoping to be accepted, hoping that we're going to be safe, hoping, that we made the right move ultimately. And it's been that so far. It has been the right move. But, there's things that come with transitions. And one of those things were, wondering what it was going to be like here, what the people were going to be like. And overall, I've had nothing but a positive experience. here we are, coming up on the end of the ride. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me, listening to me. Hope you got something. Um, Please subscribe, please like. I'm gonna post as many videos as I can. Hopefully I'll get a little bit more serious into this. We start looking at different bike parts, different film equipment. So yeah, keep coming back. It's been a pleasure recording all these. Until next time.